Hi, everyone. My name's Carrie Morgan, and I am the host of the Holistic Empire Summit. And this is number 2 in the summit. So, for this round, we are going to be discussing your inner self worth, how that matters in your business, and how that matters when you're wanting to build more wealth and abundance in everything you do. So I have had the pleasure to interview amazing women all over the world, and I'm bringing this to you so that we can heal this problem and really get you to step into your power, right? And own that space that you've always desired deep down inside. Today we have Olga. And she is a CEO mindset coach for entrepreneurs. I'm going to let her explain a little bit more about her expertise today and how she is here to give you this path and her time so that you can stand up every day and feel good about who you are and step into your power. So, Olga, tell us a little bit more about what you do and how you help people all over the world.
Hi, Carrie. I'm so excited to be part of this event. I'm super excited. I was just sharing with Carrie what an amazing event it is and how happy I am that she actually put us together. But yes, I'm Olga. I call myself CEO Mindset Coach, but essentially what I do is I work with entrepreneurs and I help them on emotional roller coaster of their entrepreneurial journey. So anything that is around fears, limiting beliefs, doubts, worries is up to my sleeve. I'm also a certified EFT and Master EFT practitioner. And I like to say that even though danger is real, fear is a choice. And this is kind of like my tagline. This is where I do a lot of work with people, essentially helping them combat those fears, realize and understand what they are, that they're just blocks, that they're something that is not necessarily real, but could definitely hold us back, and how to deal with them and how to release them on a deeper level.
Awesome. So, what one word describes you as if people were in your presence and they talked to you for about 5 minutes, and when you left, what would be that one word that would settle into their mind?
Well, I want to say fearless because this is something that I am so passionate about. I talk about this all the time. If you enter a conversation with me, I probably will talk about fears at some point, which is kind of freaky. It's not necessarily a coffee chat or a party chat. But I honestly believe that if you can face your fears and if you can have the courage to overcome them and step there, then that's where the best things happen, right? Facing your fears and overcoming them, I believe, is one of the best things that you can do with your life.
Yeah, and that is, I think so many people are living in fear, and it may not even be our own fear. It may be our parents' fear, right? Or it may be like our grandparents' fear, depending on who was the adult in your life, and it kind of attaches itself to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, really, like, let's go into how you would help someone if they came to you and they really wanted to get out. Now, I know there's a difference between a person that is not sure if they want to get out, but a person that's really sure about leaving fear behind and not making that an issue, but really wanting that change. Can you give us an example of how you would guide that person?
Yeah, this is an absolutely great question. And the modality that I work with called EFT or tapping or fast EFT. Have you heard about that, Carrie?
Yes, but can you explain it for some people that may not know what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I think becoming more and more mainstream. A lot of, actors, famous people, sports, high performing people in the sports arena started to use it, and also a lot of business people use it too. And the reason why, because it's a very simple technique that helps you clear your fears and clear your doubts and worries on a deeper level. So essentially what EFT stands for is emotional freedom technique. And it's kind of like a combination of an acupressure and
Okay.
modern neuropsychology. So if you put those two amazing modalities together, then you get this very simple tool for change that can help you really tweak something in a matter of minutes. And the way it works, and the first time I've heard about EFT was actually from a summit, just like that. And it wasn't even that long ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years. I was listening to the summit, and Brett Yates was explaining what EFT is. And he said, "Hey guys, just try it. What we're gonna do, we're gonna tap on the face. There." And I was like, "Tap on what?" So it was so
Yeah.
weird, guys. If you think it's weird, it's perfectly normal. Just kind of go along, have an open mind about this if you have never tried it. And if you have tried it, the chances are you already know that it's really, really working. The gentleman who introduced this technique originally, his name is Gary Gregg, and it was in early 1990s. So when he got it out on the open, his email list went from 0 to a million subscribers in 1 year.
Wow.
It
Yeah.
started off
Incredible.
incredible. It started out like a wildfire, and people started passing this word to each other, and they started trying it. And they really noticed the shift in how they feel when they
Mhm.
started using it. So that's where EFT comes in place. It really is a great tool to help you change the way you feel.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, I remember. And so there are different pinpoints or different locations
Yeah.
that you really have to touch. Can you just go over them really fast? Because I know one's here and like some people go to the side and then it's like your breastbone, but
Mhm.
what is the form of that? Can you just
Absolutely.
show everybody?
Yes,
Okay.
totally. So there are different ways of tapping. There's so many
Okay.
different modalities and ways you can tap, and there's no wrong way of doing it.
Oh, okay.
What I would like to introduce to you is something that I use the most, and it's actually called Faster EFT. It stands for Emotionally Focused Transformation, but it's based on the tapping technique, so it's a form of tapping. Now, the points that we use there, so the classic points, there's 9 of them. There's one here, one there, under the eye, under the nose, under the lips. There's one here, and they go under the lip. There's one on the top of the head. So there's 9 of them. In Fast EFT, we only use 5 points. Now,
Okay.
the reason why we do this is because those points are connected to the organs that create stress, and stimulating these points
Mm,
changes the perception and changes the body reaction, right? Because that's really
yeah.
when stress happens. When stress hits, amygdala sends, reactions to all of your body organs to, run or hide or freeze. So there's about 400 changes happens at the same time when you hit with stress. So tapping on these acupressure points actually counteract the changes the way your body feels because you send the electromagnetic signals to those organs. So there's a meridian system that we have in our body, just like a breathing system or where the blood runs, right? There's also an energy system in our bodies that we can use to sort of communicate to different organs. So when we tap on this point, so just go ahead and do it with me, guys. So there's the
Okay.
5 points that Carrie asked me about. So there's one between the eyes, this one right here, and you just lightly touch it with a couple of fingers. There's no way you can do it wrong. Some people say, well, how many times you do it? How strong? Well, just try it. It feels really good when you start tapping like this. And it doesn't have to be super strong. It's just a very natural feel, right?
Hmm.
So one between the eyes, one by the side of the eye where your eyebrow ends, just right there. One right under the eye, just maybe a half an inch, and you will feel this bone, right? It's just right there.
Yes.
There's one a couple of inches down and to the right or to the left. This is the collarbone point. And finally, what we do in Fast EFT, we actually grab the wrist right here around, which hits all of these meridians that run down the arm instead of tapping on the separate ones. And you stimulate all of these meridians in once when you grab your wrist. So just like this. So those are the points. And, they've done research on that. So they actually, what they did is they took 2 groups of people and they did testing to where they spoke. So in one group, they just did the conversation when they talked about their problems, kind of like a talk therapy, where in the second group, they talked and tapped at the same time. So when they looked at the blood samples and they measured the level of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, in those 2 groups, the people who did the tapping, their cortisol level dropped by 50%, which
That's
was
amazing.
incredible, right? So they actually didn't believe it. They said something is wrong. They had to retest it because it was such a huge difference, And then they did the second test again, and it still came back saying that, yes, it's that. Incredible. So it really does work, guys. And we'll play as we go along with Gary, and I'll do some demos so you can actually experience the power of this technique.
Yes, that will be amazing, right? For everyone to really be able to feel that and just do like a basic outline or a basic form that they can do for someone that feels stuck or has a little bit of fear. That would be great. So let's go into How long have you been in business, and how has your past really helped you step into this enlightenment, right? Because, for you, this is something totally different, and you were like, hey, like you have to be like, am I that person to do this? So what aligned you to step into the CEO mindset coach?
This is such a great question. And gosh, my journey started a few years ago. I think I always was attracted to this work. Even back in school, we had a teacher who was talking about this concept, the concept of life purpose and life mission. And she was the only one who ever talked about this. And she was a math teacher. She wasn't even, so we had some after school activities with her when, she talked about this. And I think this is the reason why I majored in mathematics, because I
Yeah.
liked it so much. So actually my major, I have master's in mathematics, and I was a math teacher for 12 years. And about 3.5 years ago, I quit my full-time job and I started this journey. So that was just right around the time when I was pregnant with my second daughter. And that was about the time when I was learning about tapping, or EFT. So at that time, and I'm very blessed to be a nearly perfectly healthy person. I don't take pills. I don't barely ever go to doctors. So I don't really have a lot of physical pain. But I was starting to try tapping for different emotional issues, and it
Mhm.
was helping me so well, like overwhelm, like stress and stuck in relationships, that I wanted to try tapping for physical pain. So at that time, I was pregnant. I was 2 months before the delivery day. So, well, what if I have a baby without any medications and I use tapping as my pain relief?
Hey, that's a way to challenge yourself.
Like to try it out. And interestingly, we're talking about fears. Fear of childbirth was my number one fear since I was a 10-year-old. I don't know where I learned it or how it came. How fears are, you just scared of something, it's not really reasonable. But this is something I was seriously scared of, giving birth to a child without medication. It's not something that I would take lightly. If somebody would tell me that I would do it, I would just think that they're crazy and hit them or something.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was getting to the point where I was curious and interested about how universe works. Started to trust my body a little bit more.
Hmm.
And I signed up for this course. It was Hypnobabies. So essentially, I used hypnosis and EFT as I was delivering this baby. So I was in the birth center with the midwives, and just literally minutes before the baby is about to come, like sitting there in the bathtub, like breathing, and then I'm tapping, and I go, the baby's kind of like, oh shoot, there's a human being coming out of me. I'm sitting there tapping, and next thing I know, she's just swimming under the water, and I'm holding my baby. And the whole experience was nearly painless. I mean, there were some sensations. I'm not going to say there was no pain at all.
Right.
It was very, very bearable. It was very, very mild. And it was very enjoyable. So that, I think, was a turning point in when things started shifting for me. Because when I experienced that, and I realized that something that I believed for so long, that childbirth has to be painful and horrible and just, and it just wasn't true. And it's because I challenged that fear and I decided to overcome it. So literally 2 months after that, I've decided I'm going to quit my full-time job. And my husband was like, are you crazy?
Yeah.
And my principal was like, are you crazy? But it was the right thing for me to do. I was ready to learn something new. I was ready to spend some time with my baby. So that first year, I only worked, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20 hours a week, but I was able to replace my salary within like maybe 3 months or so, because I started my math coaching practice at that time. And as I was learning the EFT, I started tap on everything that moves. So
Yeah.
I tap on all my friends, all the friends of the friends, their parents, their kids, their spouses, people in the grocery store. I found somebody in a local gym who had a pain, and then he was like, hey, I'm going to show you something that might help you. So yeah, so I tapped with everybody, and people were getting results. And so often they didn't even know what hit them, and it still worked. Like I remember talking to one lady in the little gym where my daughter was going, and she mentioned that she has fear of needles. And I go, hey, I want to show you something, how it works. And she goes like, So she needed to do surgery, and she couldn't do surgery because she had a fear of needles. So we went to the back room. I tapped with her for around 10, 15 minutes. And then 2 weeks later, I'm overhearing a conversation that she had a surgery. And I was like, wow. And I'm pretty sure she had no idea what hit her.
Yeah.
But it really helped her change. So this is how my journey started. And then when I started to implement it a little bit more and sort of look in what kind of people I work best, I realized that my people are entrepreneurs. Those are the courageous souls. They make
Yeah.
people that I have most resonance with. I have a goosebumps every time I talk about entrepreneurs. I think they are, the ones who just decided to risk everything very often without any safety net and start something amazing and unpredictable. And I just believe they do an awesome job in this world. And I think it's my mission to support them in what I do best.
Oh, that is awesome. I am so in love with what you just said because that fear of having a baby is the ultimate thing. And if you can overcome that with just trusting yourself, right, that is huge. Yeah. So, because I have said before that this whole event, and the reason I did is because I've seen such a a disconnect between people really wanting something, or they're following so many people instead of learning to trust their self and learning to be in their own power, and learning to create the energy they need to really sustain that lifestyle as being an entrepreneur. But that fear is always there, but it will deplete as you start moving forward and taking action. So I do love the whole tapping thing. So let's go a little bit deeper into, so I know you said the mindset too, right? Do you collaborate both of them together in a session, or is it just mostly the tapping now that you deal with?
Usually, well, you see, tapping helps with mindset. So
Okay.
tapping is one of the best tools to change mindset. So one of the simple examples of how tapping works with entrepreneurship is my recent client. So we started working in August, I want to say, just 2 or 3 months ago, and we had a session. So she came to me because she struggled to launch something. She had this great idea. She had a mailing list of a couple of hundred of thousands of people, and she is a professional organizer, very talented one. And she goes like, Olga, I know I have this program, I know I have all of these ideas, but I don't launch. So I want to launch this program, I want to get it out there. So we had a session where we tapped on the feelings of not good enough, of some things that
Mhm.
the parents said, some things that the uncle said,
Yeah.
feeling that I am not an expert enough. So we released a lot of the fears around charging for your services and just being enough. So we started shifting and really collapsing some of this old beliefs, replacing it with something that serves her better. So next thing I know, it was, I think it's September or early October. She was like, Olga, I launched and I had 40 people who bought my program. So she made $1,200, $12,000, yeah, $12,000 in like a week, and she was shocked and she was surprised. So we had to tap on that.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, she was really surprised that so many people actually bought her product because it was the very first time she launched the program for professional organizers. And so this is, you can see the direct correlation between how tapping can affect your bottom line in terms of the income and in terms of self-worth, and how do you just generally feel about yourself and doing that work out there.
Yeah, that's totally uh, true, because what people do is kind of give away this kitchen sink, and then they feel like, oh my gosh, I do not want this person as a client, but you're offering way too much for such a low price that you exhaust your energy, right? And you exhaust yourself. So that is amazing. So I feel like this has been almost like acupuncture you can do yourself, right? What
Yeah,
is it?
and
Do
no
it
needles,
yourself.
so that's the best part.
Yeah, right? Yeah, you could do it yourself at home, which is awesome. So how do you master your 24 hours as a female entrepreneur? And what are some of the key alignments that you use in your business?
Oh, this is such a great question. How do I master my 24 hours? Well, I am doing my best to create a master schedule that I stick to at the best of my ability. So I noticed that I work somewhere between 25 to 30 hours a week, and I schedule it mostly when my kids are in school.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
those are the mornings, and I have a few hours I work on Saturday morning, but then I take some Mondays off. So I make sure that I have at least one full day off, and preferably two. So I work about 5 to 6 hours a day. I notice that this is the sweet point. If I do more, it's exhausting. If I do less, I'm not able to hit my business goals. And normally my day starts by dropping off kids. To one goes to school, one goes to the daycare, and then I have a calendar that I follow. So I usually have 5 to 6 items that I have written for a day, and if I don't check them out, they go to the next day. So that's how I make sure that things are actually getting done. And the honest truth, it's not perfect. It doesn't always flow. I have doctor appointments. I have some other things
Yeah.
that comes up. So it totally happens. And we were tapping with a client this morning, and she said, "Olga, I'm so upset. Somebody came and interrupted me, and I wasted 2 days." I said, "Well, life happens. It totally happens." I think it's good to forgive yourself for that if you are, a little bit out of alignment with what you have in mind. But another thing that I notice works really well for me is kind of batching the tasks. So if I have a day where I just sit down and I do a few of my tapping videos, 2 or 3 of them, and I write a couple of blog posts without necessarily working with a client that day, because then my mind can focus on one activity, be very sharp, be very kind of laser focused on one thing, and then I don't feel scattered. I mean, again, it doesn't always happen, but it's
Yeah.
always been my intention to batch tasks because it's just really raises the productivity so much.
Yeah, no, that's definitely so true to just, laser focus on one item, completely finish that.
Mhm.
And then go into some, or have all your clients on one day, right? So your mindset for your clients and your energy set to be able to serve them, and you can like deal with that. And then, another day is just all finances or whatever you feel like you need, or all marketing. But that is good, especially when you're solo entrepreneur, to have your mind laser focused, because the more you do the same thing over and over in one day, you just get the mastery starts to come out, right? The way you feel starts to come out. So let's go into, do you do tapping for yourself? And what's one daily ritual that you fall back into? Maybe you have a day and shit hits the fan and you're like, okay, is there a trigger word? Is there something that you say that pulls you back in and kind of gets you back in that state of balance and that mindset of awareness, or the mindset and the mindfulness? What do you do when you have to get back into that space?
Yeah, that's a perfect question. So tapping is my my drug of choice.
Yeah.
It works so fast, and it works just about anywhere. To where if it's a meditation or a yoga practice, you need to have space, a bit more time for that. For generally speaking, to where tapping you can do anywhere. So literally when I jump into the car and I feel, that something is going on in my body, like I feel tense, or I feel maybe stuck, or I feel worried, I'll just start tapping. And, yeah, I drive and tap, but, I'm being very careful, and, try to do it when I stop. And it's a very quick shift. Because what happens in this moment, you start sending electromagnetic signals to your body organ, and you'll notice it just kind of like goes like that. It relaxes
Yeah.
right away. Now, I tap in the toilet because nobody bothers me there.
Yeah.
It's a great place to tap. You go to the restroom and you just do a couple of rounds, and you come up and you can, act, not react all of a sudden. I personally really love meditation, and I try to do it on a daily basis. There are days that I skip, but it's so great for me to sit down and just either do a guided meditations for about 15-20 minutes, or I could just sit with myself and watch my thoughts come by, and breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes I meditate and tap. I would sit quietly, and if I notice that there's a little bit too much of emotional turbulence, I'll tap at the same time as I meditate. Another thing that works really great for me, it's not necessarily a daily tool, but it's the best tool for clarity. And you guys heard it like a gazillion of time, but it's journaling. If you sit up and you start feeling your mind on the paper, it's one of the best versions of emotional acupressure, well, emotional chiropractor. Tapping is great of clearing things, and I think writing down is great for clarity. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll sit down and start writing, and I put 10 minutes on clock, and then the rule is not pick up the pen from the paper.
Okay.
And so I'll just write it out, and then I'll look at this and I'll start tapping on some of that stuff, right? Because now it's out, and out is always better than in, right? So you can clear it out, so you can let go, so you can say, okay, that doesn't work for me. And so I will take it and I'll start tapping on that. But tapping been working for me so well to heal so many different things. It's, my very first master teacher, she said that when she explains people what she does, she'll say, well, I help people with stress, and I teach them how to do this, simple EFT technique. But sometimes she goes, I just say, I watch miracles. I just
Yeah.
it's that simple, and it's just one after the other. People that I see who healed the headaches, who had unexplained medical conditions that disappear. People were depressed and near suicidal, go back to life and want to leave and excited about the life again. People who are stuck in their business, finally launching and making 5K 5K month, and relationships being restored. And it's really is an amazing tool for change. So if you guys haven't tried it, I highly recommend you to give it a shot.
Oh, wow. That is love. I love, love, love that. And that is, and I think we definitely forget that it is the simplest things that are going to make the biggest difference, right, in our life. And that could be us connecting with our fear, right? And really letting go of that, but also getting that mind, body, and spirit collaboration where you're trusting this process, but trusting that you can heal your own body. You can really be able to set these, mindset shifts, just by stimulating energy through your body, is really powerful. So I do teach yoga, so I know a lot about,
No, this is
what
this is
yours.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really glad that you said, because this is an absolute truth. You are powerful beyond belief. You got it. You've made it so far. So you have what it takes to do this. But the right teacher will always appear. So if you're listening to this right now, this is what you needed to learn next. The chances are you're looking for
exactly.
the next tool in your toolbox. And Carrie said it beautifully. She said, often it's the simplest thing that make a difference. It's when you're consistent with them and when you really stick to them that it works. And then so people say, well, just tapping really always works. It works 95%. I believe it works 100%, but it works if you do it. If you
Right.
don't do it, it's probably gonna work. So
Yeah, I said, because when people really just take that consistent actions, they are mind-blowing results, right? And it could be 5 minutes a day, but you will see after that 365 days a year, if you commit to yourself with your integrity on what you say, that is when the true power starts to show up in your life, but you can't just say, oh, it didn't work for me, because you're not putting the energy or the time into it. You're doing it, but you're not doing it in that space. Your head's somewhere totally different. So yeah, okay, so let's go into some cool stuff. Walk me through a session. Like a quick, now I just did this like out of the blue, but so maybe like, I don't know, I don't think I deal with pain or anything. I'm very active in that kind of stuff, but maybe a fear session or something. So walk
yeah,
me
totally.
through
So
something.
what I'll do, and you guys are more than welcome to join us in this process, because what I'll do is, as I guide Carrie, you can join us and I'll tell you, what to do, sort of thing. But it's a good to do a quick demo, guys, and we'll do just
Okay.
kind of like a group tapping. And I was thinking about that yesterday as I was watching Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I need to create a product. It's called Fear Busters, because
That's
an
awesome.
EFT is such a great thing for fears. It naturally busts it, and it really helps you, go to the place where they sit right there in the subconscious mind and release it. So, so start thinking about something that you are afraid of, or something that's sort of coming up and scares the heck out of you. And just, notice where you are right now. It could be something big, it could be something smaller, it could be something kind of annoying that you wanted to clear. And we'll use Carrie as a guinea pig, as she volunteered.
Yay, use me as a guinea pig.
But as we go along, guys, I'd love for you to experiment with this. And it's very simple. Just follow along and we'll do this. So
Okay.
start by addressing, start by asking yourself, what is it that you like to address and change and shift in the next, we have for maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, right? And what comes to mind for you, Carrie, in terms of fears or limiting beliefs or anything else that you'd like to change?
I would probably want to shift. Maybe, I don't, that's a good question. I have to think about that. But I can do something basic, right? So that we can do that here. So,
And here's another thing that you guys can do. And Carrie, that will work for you too. if you are either not sure or not confident talking, because this thing's gone to hundreds and thousands of people, right?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
kind of
I don't know. It could
scary.
be income. I mean, not that. I mean, just,
Yeah,
as a woman making more than
right.
what you normally make. So let's go with that because this is a money blueprint type of
Oh, I love that. Yes,
concept. Okay, yeah.
tapping on money is one of my favorite things to do. So
Okay,
this
so
is
let's do that. I'm okay with
and
talking about it. I was just like, oh, yeah, let's do the income increasing the profit. Yes.
fantastic. And this is where a lot of time the upper limit problem will kick in. If you guys are not familiar with upper limit problem, it's essentially you will be hitting your internal thermostat. So we are used to a certain level of success, certain level of happiness, certain level we treat ourselves, and certain level of income. So every time you're ready to go to the next level of the income, you will feel that discomfort. And that's probably what Carrie is talking about. As you're growing in your business and as you hit in the next milestone, naturally all the fears and all the ugly stuff will come up. And then sometime it's something that she mentioned where she said, well, is it okay for me as a woman make that much money?
Yeah.
And then so what else is coming up when you think about raising your income or getting to the next level of income?
Building a team, right? Because I have built teams and they just don't usually stand up to what I feel they should be doing. Like they'll disappear or you already pay them and then you'll have issues. So yeah, a lot of that, especially in the online space with the VAs and, the people that want to get paid before they do the work and then they don't really show up to do the work. So yeah, but building a team around to up level your life, right? Because you really, if you want to sit to that next level, you definitely need to be able to delegate so that you can get that passive income coming in those systems and you can stand more in the power you feel comfortable in.
Yeah, fantastic. So think about something that you are working on right now. It's either something that you're ready to upgrade in a level, maybe it's something that you're ready to let go of, right? Something specific. And as you're thinking about that, Carrie, what emotions are coming up? And you guys go ahead and do the same. So think about what the top 2 or 3 emotions that come to mind when you think about upgrading, going to the next level, delegating, building a team, or rebuilding a team, or adding new members to the team. What are the top 3 emotions that come to mind?
Okay, so one emotion is what is that little OCD like
Yeah.
like making sure like because I've had issues where stuff wasn't done right and that freaks
Yeah.
me out, right? Like I have to let go of that. I did for a while and then stuff just didn't go right and I just get pissed because I love to just make sure things run right. I mean, especially if I already told you about it and then still doesn't go. So
Yeah.
maybe that's one. That should be a letting go of me, just letting go and letting the flow start to come with the procedure. Another one would be, so this is for my up leveling. I really want to start my corporate wellness, intensify a little bit more of my corporate wellness program. So it's definitely more automated and more of a virtual session. So that's a big up leveling for me. I think that those are the 2 big ones because building a team, I definitely need a team, and be able to feel safe letting them deal with those things because I need to be more into the sales process with these corporations, right? So I would say that.
Yeah, this is perfect. So as she was talking, I was actually taking some notes, and there's a few things that she mentioned that are the keywords for us that we'll be tapping on. She said OCD, control, freak me out, get peace, safe. So those are the keywords that we're
That's
going to use
awesome.
as the top, right?
Okay.
Because those are the triggers, and this is how she represents. So what you can do, guys, you can either notice what kind of things coming up for you, and you just say, well, just focus on the top 3 or so.
Okay.
Or you can write this down and also tap on them. Because what's going to happen now is we'll step into this place, we'll notice these emotions, we'll release them, and then we'll replace it with how we want to feel. So the work that I do is the work with the subconscious mind, which is 95% of our decision is done by the subconscious mind. It's kind of crazy, right? Because that's what
Yeah.
really rule the boss, which drives what happens here. And very few of us know actually how to deal with that part of ourselves. So
Yeah.
EFT is the great tools to go there, Pastor, is the great tool to go there and make those changes. Because when you change the way you feel, everything else changes. It's the feeling that drives it, right?
Yes,
It
it's true.
determines, it's not the thoughts, it's how you feel about something. So if you can learn about feel the way you want to feel, all of a sudden the right solutions will come. You resonate with the right team members and people and clients. And so let's talk a little bit about what you do want in terms of what kind of, how would you like to feel if you have achieved that outcome?
Okay, so I'm going to feel just amazing, right? But just feel really into my power, because I want my business to start generating like 75,000 K a month. And that is dealing with the corporate wellness and just having all the systems automated for the online lunch and learns and that process. And just knowing that I finally did it, like I finally finished, like, and made that connection. So I'm going to feel that sense of joy, that sense of confidence, and that sense of worth. Yes. Because all the work finally paid off, right?
Fantastic. So there's a couple of things here. So first, guys, if you are in a similar place, if you tap in on something like where you're leveling your business, or you're thinking of going to the next step, notice that there's a number comes up. So Carrie mentioned, she says 75K a month. So that's her next. Is that what you said? 75K a month,
yes.
Right? So that's her next milestone. So first thing that I want you to do is see if you can come up with a number that makes sense to you. And Carrie, go ahead and do it with us. Just kind of close your eyes.
Okay.
Tap into this place. And just notice if this is something that you resonate with. Now, it could be a little bit uncomfortable because you are up-leveling, you're going to the next step. But it also should be something that's reachable enough. So if it's too far outside of your reach, you probably want to incrementally increase it there, right? But if it's something that's, yeah, this is totally my next step, then step in there and just kind of notice how it feels. And we'll tap all the resistance and all the blockages in the way of it. Fantastic. So once you have this number and you kind of notice this feeling, we'll go ahead and start tapping. So what I'm going to do, guys, is just, just close your eyes and Carrie, go ahead and do the same thing. And as you do, just step into this place of what you don't want. So first we're going to go to what is bothering us, what's triggering us, and start noticing it. Notice it in your body. See if there's any pictures come up. See if there's any words or conversation that you have in yourself. So in case of Carrie, she mentioned a few things, so we'll tap on that. And whatever's coming up, tap with us. So we'll do a group tapping. I'll use a little bit more of a general wording so everybody can benefit from that. And so you can kind of learn how to do this too. So first step, tap into what you don't want. Notice how you know that this is what it is, where you feel it. Any feelings in the body, Carrie? Do you feel there's maybe some pressure or tension anywhere in your body?
I felt like maybe some tension around like the letting go, right? The having to be in control of everything.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Is it specifically in your body somewhere?
Like the middle of my back, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So back represents support, and that's exactly what she's talking about, right? She said, I'm ready for more support. A lot of things going on in my business, so that's just the right place where it usually resonates in your body. So very good. Okay, and then just close your eyes and notice all of the sensations in your body. And all I want you to do right now is to pay attention to them for a second. Just tune in. And if you can amplify it a little bit, go ahead and do that. Because this way we can deeper go into the story and we can really pull this whole root out. So make it stronger. So on a scale from 0 to 10, where are you right now, Carrie? 0, not at all. I'm comfortable and confident that this is, what's happening. I'm right there. And 10 is like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I'm pissed. There's no way I can let go of the control. All this good stuff. So 0,
like a 7 for the letting go. Yeah, like a 7.
Good. So notice this part, and you guys notice where you are. And then what I want you to do is imagine that you're holding onto helium balloons in your hand. If you would release and let go of the balloons, what happened with them naturally?
I start to feel lighter.
Good. And then notice what happens with the balloons. Remember, those are helium balloons.
They're going up.
Very good. So watch them fly away and just kind of disappear in distance. Completely gone. Got it?
Yes.
Very good. So open your eyes and just look at me, do what I do, say what I say.
Okay.
Ready? And just tap between your eyes and repeat after me. And just say, I release and let go.
I release and let go.
Of all the tension.
Of all the tension.
Of all the fear.
Of all the fear.
OCD,
of OCD,
the freak out feeling,
the freak out feeling,
the helplessness,
the helplessness,
the hopelessness,
the hopelessness,
feelings of no control,
feelings of non-control,
that it's not safe to let it go.
that it's not safe to let it go.
I want to build a team.
I want to build a team.
I'm ready to go to the next level in my business.
I'm ready to go to the next level in my business.
But there's part of me that's afraid
There's part of me that's afraid
that they'll disappear.
that it will disappear.
You'll pay them,
I'll pay them,
and they run away.
and then they run away.
Well, they don't do the right thing.
And they don't do the right thing.
After you told them like twice,
After I told them twice,
I release and let it go.
I release and let it go.
All these old stories,
All these old stories,
how they don't show up,
how they don't show up,
how it's not safe to delegate,
how it's not safe to delegate,
how it's not safe to let go of the control.
how it's not safe to let go of the control.
That thing that happened
That thing that happened
in the past,
in the past,
it's all over.
it's over,
It doesn't exist.
doesn't
The
exist.
past is not real.
The past is not real.
The only thing that's real
The only thing that's real
is right now.
is right now.
Me tapping with Olga,
Me tapping with Olga.
weird lady with Russian accent,
Lady with Russian accent.
the blue shirt,
The blue shirt
on Zoom.
on Zoom.
The rest doesn't exist.
The rest doesn't
The
exist.
past is gone.
The past is gone.
The future is not here yet.
The future is not here yet.
So the only real point of power
The only real point of power
is right now.
is right now.
So this is where I'm making changes.
This is where I'm making changes.
This is where I'm clearing things that doesn't serve me.
This is where I'm clearing things that does not serve me.
All the memories.
All good memories.
All the memories.
All the memories.
Or when it didn't work.
Or when it didn't work.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
I keep the lessons.
I keep the lessons.
I keep the experiences.
I keep the experiences.
And I release all the negative emotions.
And I release all the negative emotions.
It's safe for me to trust.
It's safe for me to trust.
It's safe for me to find people.
It's safe for me to find people. It's hard for me to say that.
Well, I know, right? Who'll be a good fit for me.
Who would be a good fit for me?
Who'll be supportive.
Who would be supportive?
Who I can delegate with ease.
Who I could delegate with ease.
Because it's my time
Because it's my time
to spend most
to spend most
of my energy
of my energy
in my zone of genius.
in my zone of genius.
I don't want to do this $10 task anymore.
I don't want to do these $10 tasks anymore.
It's my time
It's my time
to step up.
to step up.
Yeah, just to trust
Next is to trust
that I will find people
that I will find people
who are the best fit for me.
the best fit for me.
I naturally attract
I naturally attract
reliable,
reliable,
responsible,
responsible,
professional people
professional people
who are eager to work with me.
who are eager to work with me.
And I release everything else.
And I release everything else.
All the fears,
All the fears,
all the worries,
all the worries,
all the OCD,
all the OCD,
all the freaking out,
all the freaking out,
all the tension,
all the tension,
all the feelings of lack of support.
all the feelings of lack of support.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
Go ahead and grab your wrist and just kind of pulse around. Breathe in. Breathe out. And just go ahead and just kind of wiggle your head like right and left. So neck is in charge of the perspective. So each body part has its own kind of like emotion stuck in it. So your neck is how you see things, right? So what we're doing in this process, we're changing your perspective, right? So
Okay.
when people say, what are you just? I'm a perspective changer, right? How people see things differently. So when you start doing this, it's like, okay, I can see an amazing VA who'll support me, who understand me, who connects with me, who support my vision. So do this for me, guys, and then Carrie, do the same thing. Just go ahead and close your eyes, and go back and just start checking where you are. from that problem that you addressed in at the beginning, that issue. So if you have specific fear or worry, just see where you are. Scale from 0 to 10. 0, not at all, comfortable and calm. 10 is I'm freaking out.
Okay, so I'm calm. I feel much better. That would be a 0, right?
Oh, okay, wow, you
Yeah.
were easy.
No, I do. I feel really relaxed. I'm like, I know that I've
Yeah,
been through enough of them that
I
this.
know, right? Yes, so by now you learned it.
Oh my God, that's so cute. Awesome.
Right. So what you'll notice, guys, usually, you either will, some people, they just go down to 0 and they're ready to really change. Some people that take their time to transition through this process. So if you still like 2 or 3, notice how you know it's 2 or 3, right? So you'll say,
Right.
okay, I still have a little bit of discomfort in my back, or I still have that thought that I'm not good enough, or a memory popped up. It's like, I remember the teacher said this and that. That's where you go and tap, it's safe to let it go, I release and let it go. Whatever that said, it was just an opinion. It's not even true. They had a bad day. They had a fight with a husband.
Right.
Start tapping and start changing that perspective. And try to get to where you are close to 0, like 1 or 2 or 0, because that's what where we're going to do something that's called memory reimprinting. So we're going to make some deeper changes right now. So that part is kind of more from NLP. It's part of faster EFT.
Okay.
This is the modality that I work most with. So Faster EFT was founded by Robert G. Smith in early 2000s. And what he did essentially, he combined 3 of the most powerful technique existed, which is the tapping, NLP, and hypnosis. And these 3 combined really produced amazing results on even deeper level when it comes to subconscious work. So what we'll do right now is we'll go into this plans that we were working on, and we'll completely change it. We'll reimprint it. We'll rewrite that story so it really is there from a different blueprint.
Okay.
So in your case, maybe you had a memory that came to mind, and so that's the memory that will change. In Carrie's case, maybe she had an experience with VA that didn't work very well, so that's what we're going to change, okay?
Okay.
So we do this right. Well, actually, let's run through this really quick. So there's 3 ways to change a memory or imprint. First is when you actually can rewrite it, because you're the actor and you're the director, right? You're doing this to yourself now. They're not even there.
Right. Yeah.
So you can rewrite it and you can make it the way that you want. So if you had a bad experience, I don't know, just make up stuff up, your boss yelled at you. So you just go ahead and change it to where you see him saying something nice and kind. Or in case of Carrie, maybe she'll see that things just went differently. Either that VA was supportive or something else happened to where it worked out the way that she would want it to go.
Okay.
The second way to change the memory is actually, don't necessarily change the actors, but change how you feel about it. So you can actually keep the events and everything that you see, but you feel more empowered. A good example of this would be something like, I don't know, if you were fired from a job, right? And back then when you look back, you maybe felt small and worried. But right now you look back, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I got kicked off, because if I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Yeah. Right.
An actual step in this process. I'm so glad it happened. So you just look at this with different feeling. And the last way to change your memory is some people are very visual. So like I remember I asked a client, I was like, what do you see? She was like, everything is green. And I'm like, is it a good feeling? She was like, yes. So maybe if that's you're very visual, you can just color this with something that makes you feel good. All what we want to do is we want to hold on good stuff, right? Because what you hold on within you attract. Memories are affirmations. It's important to work on the memories and change the one that don't serve.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect. You don't have to change my memory on that one because I want to make sure I get you through your last couple questions.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, because I think we're like right at our time. I mean, it's okay with
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. You're good. I just don't want to
Yeah.
make you think that you have to go deep into that, because I know your offer is going to be able to help people guide them through, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But just to kind of wrap up this portion,
Okay.
and the reason
Yeah.
why this is so important, guys, is because then you'll make a deeper change. You'll make a deeper impact. So often when we just clear it out and get it to the neutral,
Hmm.
it can steam up back. But when you actually reimprint it and change it in one of the ways that we were talking about, then actually you'll notice it's harder to go back to the old ways, right? So
Okay.
you're planting a different seed. So I hope it makes sense a little bit.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. I love the three examples on how you can make that memory change because it is a
Mhm.
visual, mental, emotional thing that we go through,
Yeah.
right? Like when a song comes on and you get that feeling that you broke up with your boyfriend, you know what
You
I mean?
got
Like,
it.
yeah,
That's
and
it.
it's still like in there and you start to cry or you like freeze and you're like, oh my God, why'd this song come on? You know, like, but yeah, I get
That's
that.
it.
That is so powerful. Yeah, so we just have a few more things to finish on the thing. And this question I love asking the women, and I feel like I get this different experience when they it lights me up when I hear the answer. So, how do you define spiritual alignment, and what does that look like in your eyes?
Oh, this is such a beautiful question. How do you define spiritual alignment? I think more than anything, it's peace with yourself and with who you are and how you want to serve. So I think it's kind of like finding out what does your soul crave the most and going after that, which is of course scary. That's where EFT comes in.
Yeah.
So I believe people who are spiritually aligned, they are just, honest. They worked on their stuff. They addressed some things that didn't serve them. They were very brave and courageous looking at them and releasing things that are just not love, right? That are not the best and highest good. So does that make sense a little bit?
Yes. No, it's because so many people I think are comparing themselves to other people instead of finding that love right inside. And when you find that love, it opens up your gift so you can
Mhm.
share it because you feel so confident within yourself. And I would love to know what your vision is so that you can create ultimate performance in your lifespan, in your existence, in your legacy for worldwide expansion. Like, what's the vision you see for you and your business and your gift in the world?
Well, what I see is a future where people value and appreciate and learn the tools for emotional intelligence. I believe that emotional resilience is number one skill that you can learn that will improve your life on so many levels. When you know how to change the way you feel, you look younger, you live you longer, you're healthier,
Yeah.
you have better relationships, and you make more money. So I am very passionate about teaching and helping people learn how to change the way they feel on a deeper level when it comes to mastering their emotions. Because if you can learn how to do this, if you can learn how to take charge of how you feel, I honestly believe you can take charge of your life. And one of the things that I do in my business, I'm a creator of programs called Fearless Entrepreneur. Surprise, surprise. And my vision for this program that this is a number one mindset program for entrepreneurs, people who are ready and willing to go deeper to that level and really discover and uncover those blocks that are on the way of them creating the type of business they love. That's the vision for me. I wanted to impact millions of people and help entrepreneurs who are eager and they have this calling, but they also have the blocks that are there. My vision is that they find it within them to go there, and I'm the one who provide them with tools and how to.
Yeah, that's perfect. So many people need that, right? They definitely need that. So I know we didn't get a chance to get in, but let's say, can you just give a brief example if someone wanted to up level their income, what type of statements would they be able to say to themselves while they were tapping?
This is so gorgeous. Actually, I'm going to answer this question slightly different.
Okay.
So one of the best way to upgrade your income and to allow more money to come into your life is, ready, forgiveness. And people
Yay.
say forgiveness, I mean, what does it have to do with abundance? It's my number one tool of uplifting my life, because when you forgive, you give permission yourself energetically to receive. According to the law of attraction, there is no other person, right?
Yes.
Whatever you give to others, you give to yourself. So this is why forgiveness is such a powerful tool that, complemented with tapping, you can really change the way you feel. You don't just say, I'll forgive that person, but you really energetically free yourself from some of these blocks. So my number one tool when it
That's
comes
awesome.
to leveling is actually forgiveness.
That's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So we are coming down, and I know you said tapping, but I'm going to throw this last question, and I know we have like a couple minutes. How has alignment helped you with creating and sustaining abundance and wealth in your business?
This is a beautiful question because I think when you create from the place of you, when you come from a place what matters most and what you truly value, you resonate on a different level. And the science of resonance, I think what brought you and me together, right? It's hard to explain in words. It's not something that you can elaborate on, but your values is something that creates this science of resonance. So the alignment with who you truly are, stepping into this place where you more you, when you're closer to your soul, I think that's what creates this momentum. I don't know if it makes sense.
No, it definitely. And that's so true. The momentum is you believing in your soul's power, right? Your soul's, your
Right.
energetic level.
And being honest with what's important to you. What are your true values? And standing behind them unapologetically.
Yeah. Being clear too. A lot of people are like throwing out these static,
People are not
you know
clear.
what I mean? It's so like, and I used to say, I did like a long time ago, I love doing videos. I don't know. They're like everywhere, right? But a video on like, have you remember when you had a radio station and you had to tune into that radio station, your favorite song was come on, it was so staticky and you definitely wanted to hear it. That's what people are sending out, that inner conflict, right? Thinking one thing but taking total different action, and not being clear. And those old radio stations, you had to really fine tune what you wanted, right, to really hear that message coming back to you so that you can listen and really receive. So yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to get ready and go. So please tell us exactly where we can find all of your wonderful information, or if you have an offer that you would love the audience to go to, this would be the time.
That's a great question, Carrie. So you guys can find me at www.olgabochareva.com, just like that, my first and last name. And I'll make sure by the time this one goes live, there is, I created this amazing challenge. It's 40-day tapping challenge. So you're more than welcome to grab a copy and just tap alone for 14 days. Your life will change forever. But actually, another thing that came to mind, I was just chatting to Carrie about this, is that I wanted to make a very special invitation just for people who are listening to the summit. And this is the first time I'm ever doing this. So I wanted to open 10 spots for people who would like to experience tapping with me one-on-one. And it's an application for a 1-hour fast EFT sessions, no strings attached. It's just me showing up there and serving you. It's not a sales conversation. It's not a discovery session. It's an actual tapping session. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun of me doing this. I'm really resonating with the type of crowd that Carrie is attracting. So I think it's going to be an amazing experience. So this is how you know that this might be a good fit for you. So if you are already a business owner, if you have an established business and you're ready to the next level, then this might be a great fit for you to take advantage of this session. Now, if you are just starting and you're not quite sure, it might not be the best fit. What I would recommend is to start with a 14-day challenge, because that's where you really start up-leveling and clearing up some of this beginner blocks, sort of speaking, and we go very much in details in this one. But I'll make sure that I'll share a link with Carrie so you can apply for the session, and it'll be absolutely free for the first 10 people that apply. And if you guys feel like you'd like to connect with me and get some support and ask some questions and clean some things up from your life that doesn't serve you, it'll be my absolute pleasure to do so.
Awesome. So do you have we kind of leave the session with a golden nugget. A golden nugget is an actionable process that someone can take away that they can see change in their life. So can you please share this with the audience?
Yes, absolutely. So one of my favorite ways to sort of encourage change and to help people change is actually to face the fear. So it's a very simple step. It's whatever you're scared the most, do that.
Perfect.
Easier than that. So start finding those things that you're afraid of. If you're scared of doing the video, make one. If you're scared to go and make that step, that is just it. That is really one of the best things that you'll do with your life. And guess what? You have tapping behind your belt now, so you can tap as you do this, which is exactly what I did when I posted my first blog post. I was like tapping with my hand and doing the other.
I love this session, Olga. I have to tell you, you really,
Thank you,
really, I
Carrie.
could feel this from my heart. And I love that you came on and you shared your message with everyone. And my goal is to make these whole episodes or these whole series to mentor for millions, right? Because it's about sharing your message and your story and giving that experience that people feel comfortable in their skin again. So I want to say thank you again to Olga, and everyone. Make sure you come back because we have amazing women all over the world sharing their value, sharing their priceless information so that you can really be that person you desire every day and every breath, right? So this is all about the purpose. This is all about prosperity. This is all about you creating that profit and you stepping into your power and owning that space and showing up every day to be consistent within and learning that you can do it, learning to believe and trust and have that hope and desire deep down inside. And thank you, Olga, for letting everyone crush fear today. And that was an amazing session. So let's
Carrie.
sign off with goodbye.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.